All right, welcome back in, sports fans. We're here to talk some state boys basketball tournament coming up. I'm here with my buddy Logan Kelso of idahosports.com. Logan, big Boise guy, so don't hold anything he says against me. But we're going to preview every bracket here. We're going to break them all down, make our picks, Logan. I'm excited. Are you?
I'm very excited. Thanks for having me.
You know, boys 1A state basketball tournament. This is a tough one right here, especially on one side of the bracket for you and I. We've seen two of these teams a lot, Water Springs versus Chalice, Rockland versus Nez Perce. I got both of them moving on, Water Springs and Rockland, and that's where it gets hard for me. What about you?
I have the exact same thing. Water Springs, Rockland to be the third time they meet. First matchup, Water Springs kind of shot Rockland out of the court. They just had a great game, beat them by 20 points. Second matchup, district championship game. Rockland plays them tough, still not enough to contain Titus Driver. They lose by 2. Water Springs win the district title. But when it comes to them on a 3 match, on the third time, I think I got Rockland. I think Coach Shea Neal, he's a fine answer for Titus Driver, and I think he will. I think, it's tough to beat a team 3 times, kid.
Yeah, as famous John Madden once said, right, it is tough to beat a team 3 times in one season. What about the other side of the bracket?
Cascade historically has been a powerhouse in this division. They made runs. They've had the experience. But overall, I got the Blue Devils going to the championship to take on the Rockland Bulldogs.
I didn't know who I was going to pick, Water Springs and Rockland. I still don't know who I'm going to pick. I've got them both in the championship here. I can't pick against one of these teams. Titus Driver, he's unstoppable. Rockland, probably the most athletic team in 1A, though. I mean, they got the cross-country kid in Hayden Smith. They got the Permans, who are just a family of athletes. A lot of KPVI Athlete of the Weeks on that team as well, folks. So, it's going to be tough, but I think whoever wins that, I'm gonna cop out on the first bracket here and go, whoever wins out of Water Springs and Rockland is going to take the championship in 1A. Let's move on to some 2A. And speaking of hard to pick here, there's not a whole lot from East Idaho here. Grace, I think they shocked a lot of people, myself included, by knocking off the Butte County Pirates. Butte County looked like the class of that division to win districts. So who do you like out of 2A?
Riverstone, the Otters out of Boise. I'm going to have them go to the championship, but I think Kendrick will just be a little too much for him. So I'm going to go Kendrick over Riverstone for the championship game in 2A.
I'm rooting for an upset. I went Grace, the 7th seed. Keep it rolling, Grace Grizzlies. So who do you like in 3A here?
Kind of Boise bias, but at the same time, FC and Ambrose do this time and time again, where they're not a top 3 seed, but they'll make an upset run all the way to the championship. So I'm going to go Ambrose over Firth, my championship game.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Firth take it all the way. Very strong team, but I got Decla winning the championship over Firth in 3A. A ton of talent and a ton of good coaching in 4A basketball here. You got one of my favorite teams to watch, Snake River Panthers. We got them right here behind us on the screen. There's Marcus Coombs right there. 1,500 points, 6'6", coach's son, Bob Coombs, championship pedigree. You got Dawson Jackman there, draining 3. He's a little bulldog on defense at point guard. Then you got Bridger Howard, the sophomore. He's about 6'10". Yeah, Anderson at 6'7". No other team in 4A can physically match up with them. As you might notice, I got a fresh cut at Henry's today. Had some talks in the barbershop a little bit today. Some people might be a little bit down on Snake River just because they lost those 2 games to Marsh Valley at the end of the year, though. But I think that might have been some Marsh Valley magic, not to take away from what they did there. So I think Snake River still probably, for me, though, is the number 1 team to look at in 4A. What do you say, Logan?
Yeah, I'd say Snake River is an elite team this year. I personally think Bonners Ferry, that's a team that they've had experience taking on good teams this year. So I'm going to have them win the championship, but I do have Snake River going to the title.
5A, this one, if any of them felt like bet the farm on one team, it felt like this one for me. I got Preston kind of just mowing through the tournament here. So tough to beat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all those kids are on a pogo stick. They're all bouncy. They can all jump out the gym. They got some real athletes there. I don't know who can slow down Preston. What do you say?
Call it loosened by it, says I lived up there for a little bit. I had them go to the championship, but I think Preston's just too much. I think, like you said, they haven't really been shown they can be slowed down this season.
Now we go to 6A. This is one where you and I kind of are on opposite ends here. This is where we really start to butt some heads, right? I really like Madison. I like Nash Humphreys a lot. The pick and roll game with Madison is nearly unstoppable. You go under the screen, he's just going to shoot a deep 3. He can shoot it from like NBA range. You go over the screen, he's going to drive right past you or kick it out to a shooter who is usually wide open because you're spending so much time guarding Nash Humphreys. Owyhee versus Madison in the championship game. I'm picking Madison.
Boise, maybe one of the best Cinderella runs I've seen recently. Having to do a playing game against Rocky. They win that. They beat Bora, he's in state. They beat Timberline, he's also at state. And then they go to the championship game against Owyhee and lose by just 5 points. I don't think clock strikes midnight just yet. I got Boise upsetting Madison in the first round here. Give me the Brave, baby.
Rexburg look away right now. The Brave over. Oh, who do you got? You got Hawaii in the championship, though?
Oh, yeah, I got Hawaii over Lake City. I think Lake City is only contender against Hawaii. I do think Madison, I think they might be looking past Boise a little bit, kind of looking towards Lake City, looking towards Hawaii. And I think Boise has an underdog, the chip mentality. I think, yeah, Boise Brave pull it off.
Well, that's a Logan Kelso hot take if I ever heard it. You heard it here, folks. Boise over Madison. If you don't like it, send this man an email right here. Tweet at him. Go on Facebook. Find him at games he's calling. He calls games for Idaho State softball, calls games for idahosports.com. We love having you on the show here, Logan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks so much.
And we'll see you next time. All right, enjoy the tournament, everyone. We'll see you later.